with that, if we're just going to do a quick sort of going round about the different careers and specialties that you've got in medicine. So I think with most ones, people think about sort of, you've got the GP, you've got obviously you've got people becoming a GP, you've got people working in the hospital, doctors in the hospital, and you've got people working in surgery. And within those sort of working in the hospital and working in the theatre, you've got different roles. So if you're working in the hospital, you can be a pediatrician where you take care of kids. You can focus on being a respiratory person where you look at the lungs. You can go for cardiology where you look at the heart. You can go for orthopedics where you look at the bones. So for almost every part of the body, there's like a specialist area where you can become a doctor in that. And that's sort of the same with being a surgeon as well. So you can be a surgeon for the heart, you can be a surgeon for the lungs, you can be a surgeon for the bones, you can be a surgeon for the head. So there's different areas, but there's also sort of different aspects of medicine that people don't really think about. So the first one is called like pre-hospital emergency care. And I don't know if any of you watch stuff like Hobie Sitting Casualty or stuff like that, or that's just me. But there's people sort of on their helicopters, they sort of do pre-hospital care. So in emergencies when, you know, an ambulance can't get to places. So if someone say went mountain climbing or they're on a hill, or someone lives in a rural place where, you know, it's not a city, you can't really get on the roads there. Yeah, these people coming in their helicopters, they sort of fly there and they provide emergency care to these people. So that's another area that people like doing. Another one is obviously sports and exercise medicine. So I feel like quite a few of you will probably watch football, and you obviously, when footballers get injured, you need people to sort of check them out. So you can work in sports and exercise medicine. You can work for different football teams, and not just limited to football. You can go into tennis, cricket, basketball, all of that. So you don't have to be limited to just working in the hospital. If you're interested in, you know, sports, that's something that you can go into. Then another bit you've got is sort of royal sort of air forces. So you can work in the army, you can work in the navy, you can work in the Royal Air Forces. And obviously with, especially at the army, the soldiers sort of when they get wounded and stuff, they need specialist help and they need care. So you can sort of go around to different countries, help out in wars, but obviously you're not front line like the soldiers themselves. And then you've also got humanitarian medicine. So there's an organization called Médecins Sans Frontières, which basically means Doctors Without Borders. And they just go to different countries. So they go to sort of less developed countries like, you know, parts of Sub-Saharan Africa, Asia, even some parts of Europe as well, and just sort of help out with these countries that don't have a developed healthcare system like the UK. So obviously you get to travel a lot around the world, help people out. You get to see sort of conditions that aren't so common in the UK. So obviously if you go to parts of like Africa and Asia, you're going to see a lot more malaria, you're going to see a lot more infectious diseases. You're going to see conditions, you're going to see people with sickle cell anemia and stuff that aren't as common in, you know, the European population.